Welcome to MelaninatedCulturists, a show about the Black community, Black people across the globe, and Black excellence. I'm your host, Toussaint. Come with me as we look into the lives of the Black diaspora. Welcome to MelaninatedCulturists. I'm your boy, Toussaint. I just want to make a quick podcast about the Korryn Gaines situation and banking Black and discuss the things I'm seeing in the banking Black movement, as well some current events going on in the Black community that I've been witnessing as well. Right now, the Korryn Gaines situation is really tense. It's really, really rough situation. There's so much stuff coming out right now about Korryn's situation that it's pretty heartbreaking. It's pretty heartbreaking stuff. And it's where do I go? It's I'm just pulling up this record, this file here on Korryn Gaines, and let me check it out. Boom, 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 boom. This the Korryn Gaines situation has created two camps really. It's created those who are saying that she was in the wrong. And then there are camps who are saying that she did the right thing. Me personally, I'm in the middle, but I'm leaning towards more Korryn Gaines because there's so much stuff that's coming out that makes me go, oh man, I'm starting to understand. So it is, initially, I felt that Korryn Gaines created an unnecessary situation for herself. Not that it was justified the death, but it could have been abated and avoided. However, I very quickly found changing my stance on this after continuing to do more research, because I know too well there are two sides to every story. Apparently, Korryn's issues began with the police department after they mishandling her causing to experience a miscarriage. This is a lawsuit that's pending that she spoke of on a traffic stop video. There's another video of her attempting to obtain documents with her court dates on them, and that was confiscated with her belongings when she went to jail. They returned her belongings and misplaced her documents. They also couldn't find her court dates in the system. In her words, they stole her license plates and were harassing her. So she started recording all interactions with the Baltimore Police Department. I think there's more to this story than face value. When Black women falling into full compliance with officers and mysteriously dying, with them having handled her to the point of killing her baby, it's starting to make perfect sense. Korryn's fight or flight behavior, whether we agree with tactics or beliefs, as she clearly distressed woman, she was willing to die for her dignity. She was willing to sacrifice her death and absence from her children's life to teach them to stand up on what you believe is right. How many of us will do that? How many of us that love fearless soldiers, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Marcus Garvey, Farrakhan, Castro, etc., etc., so much would do that? Is this question is very relevant. How many of us would stand up? And not only that, but there's so many people who fought to defend their families and defend their dignity outside now Black, from Sitting Bull to so many, the people of Waco, Texas, so many people who stood up against the government overreach and abuse that are no longer here with us today. And I could just go through history. Like again, Sitting Bull, down to Africa to Queen Nzinga. If you think there was no children inside these villages, think again. There were casualty and damages for standing up as a people against encroaching invaders who wished to enslave them. Now, I'm not saying this was the situation here with Korryn, but she did lose a child, and I can tell you this: when a woman is losing a child due to outside forces outside her control, the outside force is a person. They will never trust that thing or person ever again. That's just human nature right there. They will never ever. They will fight you to the death because they remember when you took away something that was grown inside of them, something that they were nurturing, and something they were building. It damaged their soul. And when they miscarriage, I've seen women literally turn into the most peacefulest, pacifist women when they lose a child due to outside forces, due to a person. They will never be the same again. It's just not happening. They will never trust you. And that's what was Korryn's situation. She did not trust the Baltimore Police Department, and she was angry, and she was enraged, and she didn't know how to cope with her anger and rage because she lost a child. She lost a child. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that, she was all the way right. But you know what? Looking at the cases of other, cases of malicious, people shooting cops, white men shooting cops, and getting arrested and facing trial. I mean, there's so many cases I can throw up. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'm sure with some research, you'll find a ton of information on white men shooting cops and being arrested and making it to trial. But this girl who's like maybe 5'2", under 5'3", 100 pounds, couldn't make it to, no one could take her down. I mean, there's so much tools given to SWAT now these days, from ballistic shields to rubber bullets to tasers to, mace bombs. A mace bomb it's like a smoke bomb that's made of mace. And when you throw it in a room, it literally is like being maced. You feel like there's smoke all over the place, but it's like being bombarded by mace. You can't breathe for nothing. It is awful. I've gone through seminars. I'm a security professional. I've gone through seminars for these things, and I could tell you that it is no joke. It sucks. It sucks big time that we can, that you're engulfed in this situation. You can't see and you can't breathe. It's horrible. But I tell you this much: you can't see, you can't breathe, you can't really fight, and that means you can't really shoot. I mean, so there are so many things that, from flashbangs and being swarmed by SWAT and tackled. There's so many things, man, and that they could have done that really it doesn't feel like that this was a firefight. It feels like it was a murder. It feels like it was a hit. It felt like it was a murder. And now the police report is leaning towards what I'm saying. And the cop apologists are going to, defend the police. And that's what they're there for, to defend the police. The police can do no wrong. The police are always right. The police are always perfect. The police have never committed any acts of malfeasance. There's never been corruption. There's never been any form of bad police officers or history of bad police officers or corruption among police departments in the United States. Absolutely not. All police officers are freaking saints. Go back in 2009, 18 police officers were arrested for fraud. For committing fraud and lying on police reports. But, which is a form of corruption. And, the fact that Serpico, a former police officer named Frank Serpico, stood up and was the only police officer trying to stop corruption on the police force, has come out and said that there is a culture of corruption in the NYPD. And growing up multiple times, I've seen it. But, hey, cops are saints. We're not supposed to talk ill about police officers. We're not supposed to challenge police officers who do wrong by us. We're supposed to accept it and say, thank you, sir. I don't know what society that is, but it sounds like there are people out there who have given up being American. And America was always standing up for what's right. And to me, for longest, the black community has been the one leading the way, but always making changes. And these cop apologists are really, they're the ones who are detrimental to freedom and liberty. These people are detrimental to freedom and liberty. Now, I want to leave the Korryn Gaines situation for another time. I'm just going to say that this beautiful, beautiful woman should still be with us here today. Many people say that she was using a child as a shield. I disagree wholeheartedly. I argue that down because the police report states that he was running away. The boy says he was running away. But people still say that she held him as a shield. Which was it? Because you got two things saying that he was fleeing. He was fleeing when the police came in and killed his mother, Korryn Gaines. But the cop positive was saying, we're using her son as a shield. It's absolutely ridiculous. And also, personally, I would be skeptical now because of the climate and the situation and the things that have come out from all these cases of corrupt cases and police brutality cases, the things that have come out and the things that I've been learning, and I've done my history on police forces now. I'm doing my history. I want to know why the police forces are this way. I want to know why they've been like this for such a long time. And I can tell you this. Be careful taking information from the police force. Be careful. Be so careful. I'm not kidding. It is bad. The information that I've learned that goes back to the 1920s, it is bad. And then when I could go even further that back to learn where the police force first started from. It starts from the slave patrols. They were the first police force with the slave patrols. It just makes so much sense now. It just makes so much sense now. And there's so many cases, there's so many horrific cases going on right now. And it's so important that we really, when we deal with police now, we're going to have to be very cautious. We're going to have to be very cautious. The police are not our friends. I don't care what anyone says. The police are not our friends. And they cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted. So many reasons. And if you would do the research on police corruption and major police corruption cases, I mean, one of my favorite movies, The Untouchables. The movie was about Elliot Ness, who wanted to form a police squad, a small police squadron, to take down Al Capone. The reason that he couldn't do it with every police officer, he couldn't just recruit from any police officer, he had to go around and recruit paragons, real deal trustworthy police officers, was because 90% of the CPD, Chicago Police Department, during Elliot Ness's time, were 90% were on the take with the mob. And that, to me, we're going back and reading this report, and people just act like police officers are like these bastards or saints or these paragons of virtue. History says something else. So, to me, I look at it as this. Power corrupts. Power corrupts. If you're not a strong enough person, if you're not a strong person, if you're not a virtuous person, if you're not a more moralistic, a moral person with strong morals, power will corrupt you, and you will be drunk with power, and you will commit acts of barbarity. You will commit acts of barbarity. And that's not just my opinion. That's just the way it's always been for human nature. If you don't tame yourself, if you don't show, if you're not a true moralistic person with virtue, power will corrupt you. And we see it now. We see it now among people who are resigning from higher positions of authority. We got someone like Roger Ailes on Fox News, a man of power who's committing acts of sexual harassment. And the fact that he's not a moralistic person, the fact that he's a person of weak virtue, he felt like, and he had so much power, he felt like he could do whatever he wants. He felt like he could chase women around with his dick hanging out. So, to me, police officers are not, you're police first and then you're human second. No, you're human first who happens to do a job. That's really how I see police officers. This is your job. You are a police officer, but you're still human. And the type of human being you are is what will tell what type of how you will seep into how you do your job. Your actions will show how you do your job. And a lot of cops right now are showing that they are not a good human being. Though there are many good cops, are different people. But so many that's not good human beings. Anyways, I move on. And we get into my favorite discussion is on black banking. So far, the black banking is moving that has a snail's pace, but it's moving. And I'm kind of down about it because I'm seeing that there are black people who really don't understand what the situation is, what's going on. They're seeing it as, we're just trying to be separate ourselves. I'm sitting there going, listen, you can Stay where you are. It's not our business. You can go to any school you want. None of my business. But as a black person, you always want black infrastructure to be strong. You always want that. I don't know why, but it's made by a segment of the black community to always undermine their own black infrastructure, to talk ill, to tell others that when they focus on the black community, when they focus on the black community, that is racist. And while I sit around and I see Korean stores, I see Korean restaurants, I see Chinese restaurants, I see Mexican, Spanish, Latino restaurants, I see Asians owning laundromats. I see all these things of where people, Pakistani owning delis, but they're reinforcing their own infrastructure in America so they can send their kids off to school. But there's a need for black Americans, I've noticed, to undermine their own infrastructure. I don't understand why that black Americans want to shoot this segment of black America wants to shoot themselves in the foot. Like literally. You are probably one of the most discriminated people in America. You should want community centers for yourself. You should want restaurants for yourself. You should want any place that can hire your little brother, your little sister, your mom, or your nieces, or your nephews, or whatever, etc. Any one person in your family. You should want there to be a place that would openly hire them and let them wear their natural hair, let them be who they're going to be, and pay them a good, reasonable wage. That to me is what kills me about this whole situation is this segment not understanding that being black is one of the pillars to helping reinforce black infrastructure. Because if we are putting money in the banks, to benefit all our community, that means that we can open up more loans. These loans are important. We can open up more loans for businesses. Open up more loans for schools. To go to school. It's very important. It's just so important that we get to focus on ourselves, we get to take care of ourselves. Right now, Black America is sick. Black America is sick. And we're busy walking around with helping everybody else. Now, like I tell my mom, when she's done helping me, it's you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care and worry about yourself. And that's what this is about. This is what this whole thing is about. And I stand firmly behind banking black. And to those who can't, try. You need to try to understand. This benefit your children. This is going to benefit the community. As someone who's also Haitian American, I'm happy to say that I grew up, kind of sheltered. I had my pediatrician, my doctors, my pediatricians were Haitian. They knew my mom. My church was Haitian. My account guy was African. from fairly young. My advisor was, my financial advisor was Black American female. I mean, school teachers. I mean, I've always had Black authority. I've always had some form of Black authority around me. It was not until my teen years into my adulthood that I moved away from that. And I would want that for my children. I want my children to respect Black authority. And the people who crap on Black banking, you really no offense, but you got some nerve. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. I wish everyone a beautiful day. Melanated Culturist out.